What's going on, guys? Welcome to another Final Fantasy Brave Exodus video, and we got a review for you today of Emperor Vlad, also Zile as a 4-star going to New Vision Awakening. How's he going to be looking like? And as well, we have the new Charlotte, who we'll be talking about as well. So, if you guys like my reviews, make sure you click that like button. If not now, then maybe if I can prove myself to you that you can click the like button, or subscribe if you're new around here. Maybe I'll earn your subscription at the end of this video. Anyways, so in his base form, Emperor Vlad is a ace type magic damage dealer, basically physical killers. He can use physical killers, but also he can be imbued with any of his abilities. He has 100 times magic AoE chaining mod, which is nice, which also can be imbued. That's why I put an asterisk there, because it's magic, but you can imbue it. His burst is also 110 times mod. It hits. It's very weird. It's kind of like double back. I don't know if it's double back loaded, but it's back loaded for sure. It's a 30 and another 30 and then a 50 at the end. So it's 8, 8, 8 in terms of chaining. So I'm assuming that's going to be there's some delays involved. I'm sure that you can only chain with himself, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good modifier. You can imbue it, so you can basically imbue any element you want it to be. 5 times cap or 500% cap, both sides. 20% magic TTH in his base form. 250% human killer in his base form. 150% lone burst damage, which is pretty useful if you want to make him a lone burst chainer and things like that. And also, I guess that's it for his base form. In his brave shift form, he's a mod stacking lone burst finisher similar to Roy Mustang or Regina, even a more simple or Crown Prince Noctis, where you want to use a bunch of abilities and then use the finisher at the end. Max modifier is either 500 times or 1,000 times. I don't know which one it is, because his Lone Burst has auto casting mod boosts similar to Axstar and Clayome, but I don't know if they stack. So that's why I put a question mark there. Some people were saying that it is 1,000 times, but if it doesn't stack, then it's 500 times, which is still a lot. 500 times finisher. The modifiers only last for 1 turn. The non-Lone Burst ones, the ones that you just use abilities for, just last for 1 turn, but that's all you need. He has 300% magic TTH in his brave shift form, and also 300% human killer in his brave shift form. That's insane, by the way. That's crazy that he has 300% human killer just like that. So you don't even have to equip killers if you're fighting a human, which you most likely will be wanting to use for him. If you have to fight anyone else. It's gonna be a little harder, but it's possible to equip killers for him. His STMR is a 300% magic buff for 1 turn, so it's really good for Dark Visions if you want to finish right away. If you just want to be a Dark Finisher and just use all of his abilities in the Phase Shift form to get that modifier without using his Lone Burst. So there is some flaws. No infinite turns, so he only has 4 turns, I think. 4 turns in his Phase Shift form. Yeah, 4 turns. 4 or 3 turns, depending on how you want to do that. And his Lone Burst in his Phase Shift form does no damage. I don't think. It has 0 hits. So it probably doesn't do any damage. I don't think it even has any mods. It just, all you're using it, you're basically wasting turns to get his mod boost up. You're only wasting 1 turn though, because remember guys, it auto casts the next turn and the next turn after that. So you're wasting 1 turn to not do any damage, but that's okay. And then you can sacrifice 1 turn to do a lot of damage later. Only triple cast in his base form, so you basically have to think of him like a physical chainer. That's kind of how you have to think about it, because the only physical chainer that has quad cast currently, I think, is New Vision Lastwell, because in his brave shift form he has quad cast, but it's so strange that his brave shift form has a physical damage move, whereas that's completely useless. It's not a magic type damage move, so it would have almost been perfect, but not quite. And he's basically locked to dark for finishing, because his one-hit move that you're boosting all these mods for is dark. So he's kind of a disadvantage compared to other similar units like this, but If you need a dark finisher, he's your guy. So I'm gonna be giving him no infinite turns, being forced to be a TDH unit. So that means that you have to basically even have a harder time equipping killers. I'm gonna give him an 8.5 out of 10. I'm sure he's gonna be very strong finisher for dark in the dark category. But the fact that he's very similar, like Vivi for example, true dual wield mages I just feel like are a lot better, even if they're weaker, because you have the 6 times cap innately. You can equip 2 killer rods instead of having to equip 1 rod, and you're most likely going to be using his STMR for most cases, so that's even less of a chance to get killers. He's good, but he's gonna be tricky to gear. So if you have a lot of magic gear, there's no sweat for you. Just like whatever. For me, it wouldn't be no problem at all. But I have to think of everybody. So if you're just a casual average player, this might not be a good fit for you because it's gonna be quite hard to gear. It's gonna be quite an investment to gear. I think this is what most people are waiting for. Yes, this is the first ever Neovision Awakening 4-star to 7-star to Neovision Awakening. He gets two groundbreaking monumental things. First 4-star to become 7-star, and now he can also become Neovision Awakening. So there you go. His STMR is very blah, but it's kind of to be expected because he's a 4-star. You basically can get a whole bunch of him, but so they don't expect that you can. They don't want to give out too good of a STMR there. So infinite turns, which is always a good thing. AoE fire imbue with a 25% damage amp for fire, for physical and magical, which basically means you're going to be doing more fire damage. Triple cast, it excludes a few abilities, but I don't think you want to worry about those too much. It's not a big deal. 200% TDH, not too bad. Bolting strike, AoE, and starter strike chainer, very nice. In his race shift form, he has 100% demon killer plus for physical magical, plus 50% physical magical demon mitigation, plus 80% dark resistance. Very nice. He also has the ice AoE amp and imbue, so it's the same thing as his fire one. Also, he has a full buff of 300% attack, magic, defense, and spirit, 150% limit burst damage, and 150% undead killer to one ally. So it's quite good of a burst to have. So you can combo this pretty well with if you have Madame Edel, the Neovision version, because she has a. No, that's for everybody. Never mind. So this is it's pretty good though. You can have one person get 30% boost basically. It's pretty good. His limit burst is basically that cooldown except a slightly less at full stat buff, but it's for everybody. And limit burst damage, the same amount of limit burst damage, and also 50% less killers, but it's still for everybody. Not too bad. So there's some flaws, but not too many, because he is quite a decent support, and he's a decent chainer as well, I guess, if you want to use her. He's a support, so you can't really expect him to be a super strong chainer as well. So his chaining mods are really low, 30 times, but he has 3 chaining families. So that's quite good though. And his base burst is really no, you're not using that. 60 times mod, 3 hits, and for 60 limit burst cost, no way, no thanks. So I already looked at his kit and I was pretty sold on giving him an 8 out of 10 for being a pretty solid support. The reason why he's not a lot higher, his 7-star kit is kind of not that good. It's okay, I guess. I wish that his modifiers were a little higher, and also he didn't get anything changed with his 4-star to 5-star kit. It's still really old and stuff like that, and he did get some enhancements and things. I think those are old. I'm not sure if those are old or not. Man, I can't remember that far back. And he has a lot of competition with other units. A lot of other units have imbues and amps at this point, like Grimlock Sakura on the JB side, and Pone, and one of the newer characters. I can't remember her name already. She's one of the season 3 characters, is a 7-star. She also has a lot of things like that. So she has a lot of support capabilities as well. So there's a lot of imbuing supports out there. So he has a bit of competition, but this guy is much easier to obtain because he's a 4-star. You can get a whole bunch of them. So yeah, guys, 8 out of 10 for that, and let's move on to the last one here. And lastly, we have Shielding Blade Charlotte, who apparently is Reddit's enemy number 1, who completely pooped all over her, basically, in a non-literal way. So let's go over her STMR first, because we need to cover that really quickly. Her STMR basically can be changed from two-handed to one-handed, being able to be enhanced back and forth. So that's quite good. If you want to use her base form, you want to use her lone burst form, you can shift back and forth. Of course, you'll need to have a whole bunch of those stockpiled up if you want to do that. So here's that. Infinite turns, 500 times, 500% cap. I almost said 500 times cap, wow. 500% or 5 times cap. I'm going to keep putting that for a little bit longer, but I think I'm going to start putting just the percentage version, because that's what it says on the wiki. And with Lightning's STMR, and she has 6 times cap, 200% TDH, 200% undead killer. She has 190 times up to 210. Ice finisher ability, plus it gives her ice amp 25%, plus it gives 120% ice imperil. Or you could use 225 times mod finish, and also gives her some limit burst, stuff like that. I think that really you want to use the 190 times finisher one time, so you can get that imperil and also that ice amp, and then you want to probably switch over to the higher mod, because even like I don't understand why that one's stackable but it's lesser than the other one. That part doesn't make any sense to me, but it's still strong. Really strong finisher. 200 times 200% defense and spirit buff, plus 35% magic mitigation. I'm not sure why that's so bad. 35%? It just seems kind of lacking. I'm not really sure why that's so low, but it's still decent, because you don't really need a huge amount of mitigation to survive. 4k HP and 40 MP recovery, plus 150% low burst damage. I mean, LB Gauge fill rate. I'm just saying low burst damage. LB Gauge fill rate for all allies, which is good enough. Pretty good. You can even make her into like a side healer if you wanted her to be. She could be your finisher and healer if you want. And 80% general mitigation plus 100% ice resistance. I'm pretty sure this is a callback to her 7-star forms cooldown that also has a similar ability like this. Pretty sure that's a callback. In her Brave Shift form, she has ice, wind, and lightning chains. She has bolting strike, AoE, and Stardust Ray. Also, she has a 24 hit chaining mod, so you can basically chain also with Hawkeye and Sora, for example. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I even listed that there. She has 150% true to will, 6 times cap, 600% cap, 24 hit, triple cast AoE, limit burst. I'm pretty sure on that. I'm not going to put a question mark on this one, because there's been a lot of units lately that have 24 hits that they've had no delays. So it also has 110 times mod, not too bad. Non-elemental, so you can imbue it. So there's some cons involved, but not very many. No imbues. It's basically only for her limit burst and her Brave Shift form. It's not a big deal, because you can just find a way to imbue her. Not a big deal. And her modifiers on her chains are a little on the low side, but it's okay, because she's exchanging power for being flexible. So you can put her on a whole bunch of teams, because she can be a finisher and a chainer and a healer in multiple situations. She's less flexible with the finishing, because it's ice, locked to ice, but that's okay. So you'd only use her as an ice finisher. That's quite decent. And she has 3 chaining families, which is crazy for Dark Visions, for example. She will be able to fit on whole bunch of teams. So I was already giving her an 8.5 out of 10. I think that's a pretty good score. She's not terrible like Reddit thinks. I would not look at Reddit anymore. They don't generally know what they're talking about anymore. They always like saying, if a modifier is not a million times modifier, then it's in its garbage unit. That's what they think about it nowadays. I'm trying to tell you guys, roll compression and being able to be flexible is far better than having a million times finisher mod. Of course, you could one-shot bosses if you had a million times finisher, but I'm saying being more flexible and being more open to being a whole bunch of different teams is more interesting and more valuable than just having another huge modifier chainer. That's boring to me. Being able to put her on a whole bunch of different kind of teams is more interesting, and I think it's more fun. So that's my score, guys. If you haven't liked the video already, please give a like on the video if I've earned it. Please give a subscription to the video if I've earned it. Hit that notification bell if you've done all those other steps. And if you watch all the way to the very end of this video, make sure to type in #shield. #shield will be the key word for the ending of this video. And I hope that you guys like these reviews. I'm going to keep going on with them, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.